Hi guys, my name is Kiandra Call. I work with FreshRx Oklahoma, and we are constantly trying to find ways to get you guys eating healthier or using healthier ingredients to cook with. So today I'm going to show you how to make two common spices I feel like we use all the time. We're going to make a pasta seasoning and a taco seasoning, but we're going to use less salt and less sodium and really focus on herbs and spices to help us get all the flavors that we want. Now, herbs are a delightful way to get a lot of flavor in your food without compromising your sodium intake. And there might be people who just for health reasons are just looking to reduce it, or your doctor may have given you parameters about how much sodium that you need to eat, but doesn't mean we have to compromise flavor at all. And herbs have a lot of health benefits to them. Like here we have rosemary, oregano, thyme. They all have antioxidant properties, detoxing properties. Rosemary is even known to help with your lungs. If you're having like a nice seasonal, disgusting, mucusy situation, having rosemary tea is actually very good for you. But we're just gonna go ahead and make this. Now, you can get a Mylar bag. I like these because they keep moisture out, they keep sunlight out, and we want our spices to stay good for 6 to 12 months. Now, if you don't have that, you can use any airtight container. You just want to make sure that you're labeling it and dating it just to make sure. Now, the plus about using dried herbs is that they last a really long time, but you can get these herbs and dry them yourself. So with FreshRx, you guys have been getting a ton of herbs like oregano and basil. You can absolutely dehydrate them in the oven, or you can hang dry them, let them dehydrate, and then break them into little pieces like this and then use your seasoning fresh. Has more flavor, but these from the store work just as well. So this is just 3 tablespoons of basil. And it gets a little messy. If you are smart, you might use a funnel. But I did a little extra flavor. And then we also have granulated garlic and onion. And kind of mix it together as you go. And then some thyme. And these are all going to be seasonings that you would get in that regular like Italian seasoning that you would see. But I like using the thyme and the rosemary. I think it really adds a nice flavor. And then we've got some dried oregano, which is excellent for your health. And it's not just for Italian dishes. A lot of Greek dishes also use oregano, and Middle Eastern dishes as well. And then we have our rosemary. It's chopped rosemary. You can use the full sprigs or not. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. So we're just using a teaspoon of salt, and we're using kosher salt. Now, I did want to share that not all salt is made equal. So here I can show you guys this is kosher salt, and you can see how the granules are just bigger. So 1 teaspoon of this is going to be way less than something like 1 teaspoon of this, which is Himalayan salt. Just a little bit coarser. So you could accidentally oversalt it if you are treating all salt equally, whereas this is going to have less salt. This is going to have more minerals for you, which are really good, especially if you're dealing with hydration or if you have electrolyte imbalances. Himalayan salt can be great, but just be mindful if you're using table salt, you definitely want to use way less than what we just put in because it'll be too salty. And then an optional, I like my pasta sauce with just a little bit of spice, so I like adding red chili flakes. You can omit this if you want to, but I highly recommend trying it. And then all we're going to do is push the air out. Make sure you hear that click. And then you just want to shake it. That way all the spices are evenly distributed, or you can mix it all in the same bowl and then pour it in however you'd like. But then you have a really pretty seasoning blend that'll last you 6 to 12 months. These are also really great gifts. So if you want to make a big bag of it in bulk, you could also give some out to gifts for holidays. Or if you have somebody you're trying to get to cook a little bit more, sometimes just giving them some seasonings is a little oomph they need. All right, now I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a taco seasoning, because who doesn't enjoy like a taco night? But a lot of taco seasonings from the store have so much sodium that's a little bit scary. So I'm gonna show you how to make it, stuff you probably already have at home. So now we're gonna make our taco blend seasoning. So most of this you probably already have at home, except for maybe the coriander that we're gonna put in here. Now, coriander is just the seeds from cilantro. So a lot of times on tacos, we'll have the fresh cilantro on top, but these are the seeds, and then they can be, you can either have the whole seeds or you can grind them up. I like them ground like this. Coriander is also a really good spice to have in your pantry. It's used in curries a lot too, so it's very versatile and a little goes a long way. So I'm making a bigger batch because I love this taco seasoning, not just for tacos, but I also use it in my chili for my chili base, and it's almost soup season. So we're gonna do the coriander, some ground pepper. I feel like fresh ground pepper is really, really good, but you don't have to do all that. And then some smoked paprika. Now regular paprika is fine, but smoked paprika just has such a layer of smoky flavor in there that's just unmatched when it comes to cooking. And it is the same price as regular paprika. It's right next to it on the shelf, so you don't have to go far to get it. And then chili powder, about 3 tablespoons for this recipe, but this, I'm gonna be smarter. I'm gonna scoop it like this so I don't make a mess. But really you can just scoop it directly into whatever container. I'm using a mason jar, so we're making a bigger batch. You swirl as you go. Wish you guys could smell it, it smells good already. And then cumin, of course. Now cumin is very strong, and you're going to think this is a whole lot of cumin for this recipe, but the beauty of making your own spice blends is if you don't want as much cumin, you don't have to use as much cumin. If you want it to taste more garlicky, you can add more garlic. And that's what we're gonna add now. It's just some granulated garlic, which is just dehydrated, blended garlic. So now before we fill it to the top, I'm just gonna give her a little shake, just to get everything mixed up. And then last but not least, just a little bit of salt, just a teaspoon of kosher salt, not very much. You really don't need that much salt. And you really want to salt at the end of most things, especially with the exception of like cooking a steak where you need to salt it up front. Most meats and stuff you want to salt towards the end, unless you're roasting them. And this is some minced onion. You could do granulated onion, but I like the flavor of this more. I feel like when it rehydrates while you're cooking it, it has more of an oniony smell and flavor. And then red pepper flakes. Super simple. But this, I mean, this is huge. This is probably, those little packets you get, this is probably 4 or 5 times the amount of that. And you want to make sure that you grab yourself a lid that actually closes and that's airtight. And you definitely want to label it. But then we have our taco blend seasoning. You just shake it up really good. You might shake it before you use it because some of the heavier pieces will go to the bottom. Shake it before you use it. Scoop out what you need, and there's your marinade for tacos or for chili or anything else that you can come with. You can also put it in rice. If you want to do like rice and beans together in a pot, you can mix this in there. Very nice flavor. But I think we overthink seasoning sometimes and seasoning blends and what goes in them. You can make this, you can make your own jerk seasoning, you can make your own fried rice seasoning, you can make your own curry seasonings, and then you don't have to go to the store as often. You can take simple things like beans and rice and make them 20 different ways using different flavors and different herbs. So I hope you were encouraged to get in your pantry, pull out some herbs and make some of your own spice blends. And if not, you can go ahead and try these. We're gonna put the recipe up for you guys so you can try them at home and enjoy.